Good morning, everyone. It's a beautiful day here in the village of Mamaroneck. We are surrounded by all of our, so many of our elected officials. I'm State Senator Shelley Mayer. With me is Assemblyman Steve Otis. We're really here to announce some very good news, which is in this year's state budget. Steve and I were able to get an additional $10.85 toward the Mamaroneck Sheldrake Army Corps of Engineers project, which has been on the books for, Steve told me, almost 20 years. We are finally getting to the point where we are getting the money together to get this project to move ahead. And there is no more pressing need than to address flooding here in the village of Mamaroneck. I want to say that in addition to getting money this year, we got money last year, $17 million in the budget. Now, because of inflation, the cost of the project has gone up, and that's why Steve and I went back and fought for more money. But the other part of what we want to announce today with our colleagues in government is the incredible cooperation of the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation. The interim commissioner is here, Sean Marr, as well as our incredible colleague, Kelly Tuturo, the regional director. And together with them, we are working on identifying every other project we can to begin in Mamaroneck and in the surrounding communities to address flooding and the real problems of climate change that are affecting this community. So I'll turn it over to Steve to make sure I didn't leave something out and to acknowledge all my colleagues.
Well, so I think we have a lot to announce here today, and I'm going to acknowledge everybody that's here first. We have David Ansell from Save the Sound. We have Nora Lucas, Deputy Mayor. We have our great county executive, George Latimer. We have Catherine Parker, our county legislator. Jane Elkin-Eny, our town supervisor. My friend Shelley. The mayor of the village of Mamaroneck, Sharon Torres. We have Sean Mahar, who is the interim commissioner of DEC, a tremendous advocate who I've known for decades. Leilani Yiser from the Village of Mamaroneck Board. We have Lou Young, Village of Mamaroneck, and we have Kelly Tuturo. So here's the good news. Yes, we have the money, which was essential to have the Army Corps of Engineers project go forward. But we have a second announcement today, which is with Westchester County, with DEC, really with much of the leadership of DEC. We are not going to wait to do projects for the Army Corps process, which is lengthy, to begin. We're going to jumpstart some projects now using Westchester County money. Thank you, George Latimer. Thank you, Catherine Parker. We're going to use New York State money, DEC, DOT, wherever we can find it, New York State, EFC, and we are going to try and get work going sooner rather than later. One of the cries from people in Mamaroneck who are so assaulted by the continual risk of flooding and real flood damage is, why do we have to wait? We can't wait any longer. Let's get shovels in the ground. So really, thanks to DEC, to Sean Mahar and the team at DEC. Basically, a couple of months ago with Senator Mayer, Shelley and I were having conversations basically saying, can't we find a way to move these projects forward sooner than the length of what the Army Corps process is? We have done that. We're announcing that here today. I think this is very dramatic and helpful news for the village of Mamaroneck. And the meetings have been going on. Sharon Torres will tell you in a few moments. Already in the last month and a half, Zoom meetings with DEC, other state agencies, Army Corps, Westchester County, there at all these meetings. We're going to combine our resources and get work done. So with that, I want to give the floor to Sean Mahar, who is a tremendous... I knew Sean years ago when he was with Audubon, New York. He has been the top executive at DEC for many years, running the operation, is now interim commissioner. We love him. We love the fact that he came to Mamaroneck. But he's here because the commitment of DEC to Mamaroneck and to solving Mamaroneck's problems has been fantastic, and it's exemplified the fact you came. Kelly's here with us. We appreciate... You appreciate the situation we're in, and we appreciate that you're in the situation with us. So thank you, Sean. The floor is yours.
Member. Thank you all. Beautiful park. It's a great day to be out here with you all, Senator and Assembly Member, and really, it's an honor to be here on behalf of the governor. And what you're seeing here from this administration in Albany and across the state is a focus on climate resilience and really tackling these climate issues that we're seeing in communities across the state. And right here is obviously an unfortunate prime example of that, and why you need all levels of government working together. And that's really what you're seeing in this project right now from our federal partners and Senator Schumer and Senator Gillibrand, the Army Corps of Engineers, to our local agencies here at DEC, but also our county partners are critical to that. And County Executive, glad you're here with us today as well. And this is the power and what you can accomplish when all different levels of government work together. And that is really what this project is about. But it's important. Well, we do need the Army Corps of Engineers to advance their project, and we're grateful that the Senator and Assembly Member helped us in the budget really identify the funds that we need for that project. I think, as the Assembly Member said, we are not waiting for the federal government to act. We have studies underway, we have actionable projects that we're finding now, and we're going to make our state investments happen on these projects now. And you see that with the Environmental Bond Act. We've got $4.2 billion that we're spending across the state on projects like this. We've got a Clean Water Infrastructure Act, another $500 million that is devoted to that infrastructure. And really what we're doing is leveraging all the state investments that we can with the federal investments that are coming down, and really maximizing the what we put to use in communities like this, really on the ground. And that is our commitment, to work with communities, and again, a shining example of this. So thank you for having us here, and thank you for your tenacity to make this happen as well. So appreciate being here.
Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So we're going to applaud for the commissioner, and Sean mentioned Senator Schumer, and we are on the phone, Shelley and I, all the time with Senator Schumer's office and his team, bolstering the federal piece of this, and he has been great. He could not be here today, but he sends his regards.
Yes, and he's been an incredible partner in pushing the Army Corps ahead. But to the commissioner's point, our goal here is not to be satisfied with one project that is very long and difficult and arduous and technical. We are going to do everything we can at the same time to try to push this issue ahead. And our mayor has already jumped right in, has been in the middle of it, and Madam Mayor, come and make some remarks.
Thank you. Thank you, Shelley and Steve. Without you, we would not be here. Thank you to George and Chuck and everyone who's involved at DEC. I think when I first started as mayor, I might have begged for help at some point, and I am so grateful for the amount of help that we've received. The phone calls we've had on the phone calls and the Zoom calls where we have gotten to a point of multiple projects, multiple grants have been identified. We're creating a timeline over the next 6 to 10 years showing every single project that we're going to be able to do, so we can show that to our residents. And I don't know if everyone understands the amount of effort that has gone in, but having DEC show up every single time, and having EFC and county staff and county officials and the all levels of the government come together has been amazing for us. The one thing that I hope is heard from everyone in the village is that we heard you. We heard everything that was said, every meeting you've attended, and action is taking place right now. In the next few months, you will hear more, and I'm just very excited about every level of government coming together to help our village. We need the help, and we are extremely grateful.
Great, thank you, Sharon, so much.
So a full partner in this activity is Westchester County, and without this partnership in terms of front-loading projects, we couldn't do it with state money alone. So George Latimer, our great county executive, Catherine Parker will go after George, but come and join us. But thank you for the great partnership. This is tremendous work.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Shelley. And on behalf of Westchester County, we are a partner in all of this, and we're a partner that has the money at the ready. Every government operates differently, different structures, from the village to the town to the county to the state to the feds. At the time of April of 2007, that Sunday afternoon when it rained unbelievably so, I was in an office. I had the job that Steve has now as a state assemblyman. I had offices at 933 Mamaroneck Avenue. And I saw it raining hard. I was working in the office in the afternoon on a Sunday afternoon. And if by chance I didn't go to the window, I wouldn't have seen the rising tide in the parking lot. If you know 933, that first floor is grade level to Mamaroneck Avenue. It dips down, getting closer to Leicester and Howard Streets and then the river. And I looked down and I saw water rising that was about ready to take my car away to Never Never Land, which happened to many, many people in this community. And so when somebody comes to me and says, I live on Howard, I live on Leicester, I live on North James or Warren, or I live in the Flats on Washington or Center, I don't need a map to know these streets. I know them just like everybody else in elective office knows them. I experienced that which they've experienced too. So the years pass by. My responsibilities now as county executive with Catherine Parker as the county legislator. We're standing in front of the village courtroom. Senator Schumer is there. There's a discussion about what is the county's commitment that could be made. I looked at her. Is 10 million okay with you? She says, okay with me. I can get it through the county legislature. I said, I think we can do it. We get a phone call not that long ago saying, you know that 10? Can it be 17? I looked at her, she looked at me. Can we do 7? Can you get it past your colleagues? I can get it past the exec. And so the county is in for 17 million as a partner in this process. And we're prepared to put legislation in to bond for that money tomorrow. And we can act on it. We have a legislature that meets, around the clock. So what Steve and Shelley have done is really exceptional because the state legislature closes operations at some point in time, and these things must be in place before that happens in June. Their work with the DEC was absolutely critical because the state money is the larger piece here, 27 million I think they have. Their 27, our 17 million. Sharon, Lou, Leilani, and the rest of the board, that's at least 44, and that's real money that's going to really happen. And it wouldn't happen unless we have this cooperation. And on our level of government, it doesn't happen just because of me, the administration. It happens because of County Legislator Catherine Parker and her colleagues.
Thank you, County Executive. April 15th, 2007, to be exact. That's a date that's really etched in my memory. This community has been drowning. And it's really because flooding is the byproduct of climate change. So as these frequent storms have been dropping more moisture, it is becoming more and more essential that all levels of government come together to really bail out the village of Mamaroneck. We need to ensure that Mamaroneck can continue. And we have great partners, and we do all see this as whether or not the federal government is ready to march, we are ready to march. We are all in place, and we're going to help. So it'll be very exciting. I look forward to the plans that the mayor is going to be laying out. But as George said, we know that the longer we delay, the more money it will cost all of us. So there is an incentive to all of us to start as soon as possible. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Captain. So we have Town Supervisor Jane Elkanini to close us out, and we'll take questions.
Hi, I'm here today to say that I am so delighted that Stephen, Shelley, and George and Catherine have been able to secure the funds for this essential project. Flooding and its devastating effects are the most pressing issue in our community. Our residents have suffered incredibly and lost so much. So I'm always thankful for the tireless work of Stephen, Shelley, and George and Catherine. They're real champions of our community, and I want to thank them all for their advocacy.
So nice. Thank you, Jane. Thank you very much.
So we'll see. Any questions before we close out? And
I'd like to make a statement more than a question. County Executive, I was here in 2007. I own Tri-City Auto Parts at 650 Mamaroneck Avenue, and we were lifting merchandise up and our computers, so on and so forth. That was 28 years since I started. I started January 2nd, 1979. Never had work. So we started lifting, and it was about 4:45, and the water was a foot, and we were right in the river. I said, guys, my help is there. We got to get out of here. Yeah. We all understand what happened. At that point, I had 7 feet. The next couple of floods, we had 5. The last flood, we had 8. There's no basement, so I can only tell you the amount of loss was tremendous. I also own some additional properties adjoining that 650 Mamaroneck Avenue. For those of you who don't know, it's obviously a firehouse. So I welcome whatever you can do. I can tell you this, in the last storm, whatever our former village manager had done, as far as some mitigation, cleaning out the tunnels, so on and so forth, was help. Now I know the amount of rainfall coming down also has some contributing factor. We only had 50 inches. The water did not go to Thompson Lock. It stopped. So whatever was going on as far as doing the riverbanks, cleaning out the tunnels, getting debris out, it did make a difference. And again, I know it depends on how much comes down at one time. But that total rainfall the last time, I think, was over 7 inches. So I commend you for what you're doing. Although I sold the auto parts business itself at the end of November, for me, 44 years and 11 months is like that. I still own the properties, running properties, like I said. My losses since 2007 are well over $800,000. Why did I stay? Because I had a commitment to the community. I love the people. On top of that, I own these properties. You don't move a 9,000 square foot auto parts store like that. Definitely. So I appreciate your efforts. But let's do more now than later. So at least we catch this low-hanging fruit and keep the water moving. Everybody has an opinion on what you need. Pumps, dredging, or fix the dam. That's beyond my capability. I'm not a hydrologist. I live and ride. We went through the same thing a number of years ago. On top of that, I voted for all of you folks.
That's not part of this.
Well, in that
I might not
case-
be a Democrat. I was more of an independent, but I believe in people. So that's the way I judge things.
Thank you.
Thank you for allowing me to say it.
Thank you for your comments. And just say we all have been through all these floods and seen the damage, and it's frustrating to us. And that's why we're jump-starting some of this work now. And in a sense, we need to do all the projects. And so, but you do them one at a time.
But we've listened to all of this since 2007. I
Yep.
went to all the meetings, the Army Corps. They came back, said you people are lucky you're getting a second bite at the apple. Nobody gets a second bite at the apple. And if you can imagine, my store is 100 feet deep with no basement, with 8 feet of water inside.
Yep.
The watermarks don't lie, and lifted up merchandise that's like 3,000-pound pallet was all over the place. And the cleanup was horrific. But I had good people, I had good, loyal people. That's how we got through this. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for your loyalty to the Village of Mamaroneck, too. Sticking it out.
Yeah.
It's been challenging, we know.
I just want to highlight again DEC because they have just been so essential in jump-starting this. Question.
I have a question for DEC. Are these projects going to be expedited through your agency in a timely manner that we don't have to go through all of the red tape because we've been waiting for this for a long time, and we need your partnership to, I don't know if you need to have somebody that's going to focus exactly on Mamaroneck, where their offices is going to deal with Mamaroneck, and you guys are the people who give us all the permits. So we'd like for the DEC to expedite all of these projects that we bring in front of you. So
Definitely, and that's why I brought Kelly Turturro with me today, so you could tell her that and give her her marching orders and make sure that we're delivering. But in all honesty, though, our sleeves are rolled up. We're digging in on this. That's why we did our Resilient New York Stream study to really identify the other projects around this area that can work. And now we're working with the local government here, with the town, with the county, with the village. We need all the partners to work together to put these resources to work and to really leverage that and to move on the permitting. So our commitment to the community is to make sure that we're moving as quickly as we can, and that is our goal here. And then obviously pushing the Army Corps to move as quick as they can. I think what you saw in the budget with the needed state funds, we stepped up, we got it done, and now we're here saying Army Corps, let's go, and we're ready to roll.
Steve, if I could, that gentleman talking about the movement of the water because of the unilateral village operation we've been doing in the river. With the permits the DEC granted us, you see there that people do notice that they work, and we would urge you to just keep them coming.
Yep.
All right.
You got it.
Keep those approvals coming.
So I just add one thing to what the commissioner was saying. I've been on the calls. Shelley and I have been on the calls that with Sharon and the village staff and DEC. The attitude of DEC is, what can we do to find these projects that are sort of sitting on the shelf and jumpstart them? That's the attitude. Not just coming from the village, coming from DEC. They're helping us look for different pots of money to accelerate these. So this is what we need to have happen, and it's happening, and I cannot be, and Shelley and I both, so appreciative of the commissioner, Kelly, everybody at DEC who's involved in this. They're in deep. It's almost as if they are residents of the village of Mamaroneck. That's the attitude that they have in terms of trying to adopt a fast track for these projects.
And I just want to say, having dealt with many state agencies, and many of them are trying to work with us on flooding, the attitude of DEC is not that they're a state agency bureaucratic block. Their agency is, how can we be partners to make these things happen? And that is a game changer, tremendous tribute to them, because we deal with other agencies and they try their best, but it's more that they have to go through their rules. DEC sort of changed its mindset, I would say, during the course post-Ida, and became a partner in trying to fix the problem. So we are very, very fortunate, and we're so appreciative. And we are on the phone with them all the time, and you can tell Kelly yourself what you need, but she's the regional director for this region and knows extremely well how dire the situation, how impatient people here are. They've waited too long, and that's why we're having this to announce this. Any other questions, comments? People who wanted to speak who didn't get the chance? No? Thank you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you all.
Thank you so much.